You guys wanted fanfictions to return. I'm listening. I held off on doing them because I really like covering the analysis of things in the films, at least lately, and bringing the comics to life is also really fun, so I kind of forgot about fanfictions for a bit, but at the heart of it, I've always loved putting out those kind of videos on this channel. So for those who know me best, my brothers from the start, the fanfictions get pretty wild and crazy for the newer people here, some taking more believable turns while others going fully cinematic, dramatic, and horror-filled. So do me a favor. Let me know right now in the comments which type you like, the more realistic or the more crazy, cinematic, and gory. And also at the end, hit like if you enjoyed it. So the high ground. It's been made to be this invincible meme. And while it's funny as heck, I gotta say if Obi-Wan didn't have the high ground, he would have definitely lost the battle. Now I'm dying to get into this fanfiction. It's been a while and I'm ready to go. So let's travel back to Revenge of the Sith, back to Mustafar, and right to the point where Anakin and Obi-Wan faced off on the levitating robotic pod, just as the high ground was nearing. Now, if the movies were in line with the continuity of the comics, and you watch the video that I'm going to put out tomorrow, which will outline why exactly Anakin lost to the high ground, it will aid in this fan fiction, so be sure to tune into that. Either way, then you'll know how much Anakin actually studied the high ground, and he knew this was the only reason that Maul lost to Obi-Wan, which was because of arrogance. Had Maul not let his guard down, he'd have reacted much faster to Obi-Wan's leap and taken advantage of the high ground that he had, leading us to a very different story today. However, Obi-Wan was not blinded by Maul's arrogance, so he had to get the high ground first. In this scene, where there is a long pause in the duel and Obi-Wan sees the high ground from the corner of his eye, Anakin, this time, beats him to it, knowing where it'll end, and uses his unleashed darkside powers to jump faster to the top of the hill. Instead of lingering and pausing like he did. Remember, the dark side is what helped Anakin increase his speed and power against Dooku, ultimately killing him. With a smirk, Anakin shouts, "It's over, Master! I have the high ground." Obi-Wan knows he was too old and too slow. He should have reacted faster and seen the advantage sooner. How could he have been so stupid? Quickly, the thoughts of his younger years as a Padawan ran through his mind. Could he do it again? Only this time with his younger apprentice. The last time he leapt over Maul in such a circumstance was built by rage and vengeance that he had towards Qui-Gon's death. That's what fueled him, just like what fueled Anakin against Dooku. Could he do it again? He knew the dangers to his life and to the galaxy as a whole if he failed. He can't lose. He wouldn't lose. He must end this and end this now. He had to take Padme to safety and find Master Yoda, as he knew a dark presence was nearing.
Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil!
Where Anakin stares down at Obi-Wan, telling him,
"You underestimate my power!"
Obi-Wan trusts in the Force and leaps over him, just as he had over Maul. He knows he can win.
I told you, old man, not to underestimate my powers. You no longer can hold me back.
As Obi-Wan looked up at Anakin, laying in pieces on the soil-encrusted high ground, Anakin moves down to the lava bank, taking one last look at him.
You were too weak. I was always stronger than you, and now you failed. Finally, the Jedi will be no more.
Looking above, he sees the soaring shuttle of Darth Sidious land near Padme's ship. As Palpatine gets out, he sees Padme laying on the ground, far away near R2-D2. With a scowl, he approached her, fingers curled like a spider's dead legs. As Anakin raised his lightsaber up to the fire-burnt sky, Obi-Wan looked up into the eyes of his successor and smiled, for he saw a small tear in Vader's eye. He knew that Anakin would return. Maybe not now, or anytime soon for that matter, but his best friend and brother was still there. As Vader closed Obi-Wan's eyes for the last time, he left him there to smolder near the lava bank, uncertain of his emotions and feeling numb towards it all. I mean, how couldn't he at this point after killing all those children? He walked up the riverbank and over the high ground to meet Padme and his master, who looked down in sadness at his wife, telling the clones,
"Get a medical capsule immediately."
As they rushed back to the Star Destroyer, Tarkin met them at the docking bay. As Anakin frantically rushed out first,
She's the priority. Get her to the medical room. She's pregnant.
As they hoisted Padme's lifeless body to the medical bay, Anakin followed when Palpatine grabbed his arm and said,
Wait, my apprentice. We have matters to deal with. She will be looked after.
As Anakin shrugged off Palpatine's hand, he ran to follow Padme. Examining her vitals, the streams began to flow from his eyes as the droids told him.
She suffered from a concussion, sir. There is internal bleeding. She has passed away approximately 17 minutes ago. There is nothing we could do. We are sorry.
Holding Padme's head, he screamed for her to wake up, to come back to him, that he's sorry, that he'll leave everything behind for her. Anakin burst into tears, and as she lay there, lifeless, he collapsed to the floor, in pain. His heart was wounded, and the scar would never heal. He knew it, as Palpatine stood in silence within the shadows, as all the Imperial officers looked on behind the glass. Anakin caught a glimpse of them, watching his sorrow, like a wounded animal. Unleashing the rage within him, with the yell of pain, suffering, and sadness, he exploded a powerful shockwave of terror in the room, crushing everything in sight. The officers behind the glass all held their throats as their eyes began to bulge from their sockets. Palpatine smirked, entering the room as his cloak flowed behind him, saying,
"Seems in your anger, you killed her."
As Anakin reached out with the Force to kill his master, he suddenly stopped. It was too late. He realized everyone was gone. Sidious was all he had left. Without him, he was an empty vessel, with no one to connect with. From this moment on, his suffering was flame that burnt like frost within his very soul. He was forever indebted to the dark side. His wife, dead. His child, dead. Anakin Skywalker, too, was dead with them. The Jedi will pay for what they did to his life. They always denied him the knowledge. The rank of Master would have allowed him to enter the restricted section of the Jedi Temple and learn the powers of immortality, to save the ones he loved, but they did not respect him. They did not respect his talents, and they did not believe he was the chosen one. He vowed to search the galaxy for all remaining Jedi that slipped through Order 66. He would travel the galaxy far and wide to learn the ways of the Force, as far as into the unknown regions and whatever mysteries lies within. As he faced the ground on his knees, the red and yellow in his eyes burning so hot, he felt his face were going to melt off the bone. Let it, he thought. Nothing would stop him now, for he was the most powerful Sith in the galaxy. Palpatine knew this. He knew this. And in time, the galaxy would know the destiny of Anakin Skywalker, unfolding in the sands of time. As he rose to meet Palpatine's face towering over his master, he spoke.
What is thy bidding, my master?
So, what did you guys think? I'm eager to know. Would you like a part 2? If you want me to continue, then hit like and we'll go from there. I tried to make it a little different than the usual Luke and Leia being born and then turning to the dark side and so on, which is kind of boring. So this way Vader was really alone and now could become so much more powerful in the dark side through his suffering. What will he learn in the galaxy? Will he meet up with Snoke? What will his new adventures do for his powers? So did you guys pick up on the fact that Palpatine actually killed Padme when Anakin wasn't looking, when he wasn't even there, when he was still dealing with Obi-Wan? He actually used Force lightning to kill her and the children inside her. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you'd like a part 2, then feel free to write your theories down below in the comments or send them in to me personally on the website forums. Have a great day, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends. Thanks for watching, guys. Until the next episode, remember,
The Force will be with you. Always.
Now, fulfill your destiny.
I am your father.
Oh, I don't think so.
This is outrageous.
Do it.
It's unfair.
Do it.
Is it possible to learn this power?
Do it. Do it.
Is it possible to learn this power?
I am the Senate.
It's treason.
Another happy landing.
Do it.